Let's get to it. A toast to my father. Ancestral Reflections of a Father's Love, Part 2. And this one may ruffle the feathers of imbalanced male energy. I had to find something else to call y'all to keep from insulting real men. Because this was, in fact, my very first "What do you bring to the table" conversation. I'm just going to go straight into it. This is a 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, breaking news special report. Okay, so my daddy used to love them big, loud Ford trucks and them cargo and the family vans with the stripes down the side and the curtains in the windows. Yeah, my dad was old school like that. And this was after the time that his health had taken a turn and the writing was on the wall. I'm sure you can read between the lines. And that was when the conversations with me and my father got a lot deeper at a very young age because, we didn't know how much time was on our side. And so my father would talk to me about career choices a lot. And I mean, he was going in with it. So, you can go to the military, you can go to, in the journalism, what you gonna do, what you gonna do. And I mean, he stayed on my head about it. Because I gotta admit, I was kind of daddy's little princess, but I was more like daddy's little tomboy, daddy's little Valkyrie. I really wasn't in the spoil. I guess I could have been a little spoiled, but I had that rough around the edges thing going on. So I stopped him in the middle of the conversation and I said, "Well, Daddy, what about a husband? Don't you want me to have a husband?" My daddy got quiet. And we were driving somewhere at the time we had this conversation. And every time my father was ready to say something deep, he would pull the car over somewhere and he put the car in park so he could look me in my eyes. So that's what he did. He pulled over, parked the car, and looked me in my eyes. And he said, "Of course, I want you to have a husband. I just don't want your husband holding your fork." Her? I said, "Holding my fork? What are you talking about?" He said, "Look at me. Whoever controls how you feed yourself controls your life. And yes, honey, I want you to have a husband, but I do not want your quality of life to depend on how some nigga feels about you." Those were his words, and I'm not going to paraphrase him. And he said, sorry, this is a moment. That was the moment that my father made me promise him that I would not waste my brains or my talents chasing behind a man. He said, "If you want a luxury life that bad, go get it yourself. That way no one can take it away from you. And that way, when it's time for you to have a husband, you have a husband that is with you because he loves you and you love him, not because y'all need anything from each other." And he made me promise him because he said things happen, situations change, men change their minds. And just because a man has money, it does not mean he is a good man. So yes, I want you to have a husband. I just don't want him holding your fork. I don't want your quality of life to depend on him. And that day I made him that promise. And by the looks of things, I've kept it, even if it costed me my relationships. So there's my very first What do you bring to the table? Conversation. I'm going to leave that where it is. Catch up for Reflections of a Father's Love, Part 3. An ancestral libation to my father. Happy Father's Day, Pops.
This is a 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, breaking news special report.